Hello, friends. Namaste once again. Uh, Recording another quick snippet. And the topic of the discussion today is from Upanishads again. In the last one of the video, one of the last video, I had spoken about a verse from the Mundaka Upanishad. And today I will speak about a verse, not verse actually, a Upanishad itself, which is not very well known. As I said, that there are many Upanishads. The count is based on depending on how you count them, but there are many Upanishads because Upanishads, as I said, is series of teachings, and there are main principal Upanishads like Isha Upanishad, you have Mundaka, you have Mandukya, and all that stuff. But there are some treasures of pearls of wisdom and enlightening us with some very critical thoughts that especially are relevant in today's environment. And today I'm going to speak to you about one of that Upanishads. This Upanishad is called Vajrasuchika Upanishad. Before that, I want to tell you which book I'm referencing, so that if you're interested, you can procure this book. This is 112 Upanishads. It is by edited and revised by K.L. Joshi, O.N. Bimali, and Bindya Trivedi. And it is, I think, the publication, if I'm not wrong, is from Parimal Publications. So it's been translated by Board of Scholars, Sanskrit scholars along the way. So uh, just the translation, not much interpretation and all that stuff. So it has clean translations along the way. So, anyways, so what is this Upanishad? It is Vajrasuchika Upanishad. And Vajra means gold. Suchika means diamond. Suchika means needles. So diamond needles. That means like because diamond is as you know is used for cutting and all that stuff. It is a very high intense element. And so Vajra Suchika means that it can pierce through the most darkest ignorance. So that's the symbolic significance of why this Upanishad is called Vajra Suchika Upanishad. So, and this is Vajra Suchika Upanishad is about a very fundamental question and a very progressive question, that who is Brahmin? In fact, it is not just about Brahmin, I would say it's about the caste system. And the Upanishads, this Upanishad kinds of asks question that who actually is Brahmin? Because, again, there have been many debates about this. I don't want to go into that, along the way. But for me, my faith tells me that everyone is equal. The almighty, all-pervasive Brahman, not Brahmin, Brahman, has made everyone equal, irrespective of caste, creed, religion. We are all same. And it's our thoughts and it's our ideas that make us good, and great or greatest. It's not by birth, because if the Almighty had to kind of divide us through our race and where we are born, then there is some asymmetry into this whole affair. Then there is all pervasiveness and all that stuff needs to be questioned. And to be honest, if you look at the Vedas, the Vedantas, and also some of the scriptural, the primordial texts that we have, the discrimination has never been on the basis of birth. Firstly, the word caste itself is a very is not an Indic term. Number two, then you say it's varna. Again, people loosely connote varna as color. It's not color as well. Then they say it's jati. Then again, it has different. It is not related. Anything that we try to justify, I can probably give you 10 counter examples from our texts, and the misinterpretation that has happened for some of the verses. For example, Purusha Suktam, in that is often quoted, that there is this along the way, that but people don't read the next verse, and also there is debate about that. Then even there is the Chaturvanya that is spoken in Bhagavad Gita, but it is Varna again. Why, when, what aura that they are talking about is different. But be what it may be, But the fundamental belief is that in the Indic Sanatan system, there is no discrimination. We are all one. And this doesn't just, for me, the faith is not just amongst religion, sorry, caste, it's across religion as well. You may have different paths. We have panth plurality. Yes, people become orthodox along the way. But for me, what I little bit know, again, this much, very little, it is very important for us to know that there is nothing called caste in our context. And this particular Upanishad kinds of asks us those questions, that please think over this, that if the person is born, or is he, so if being born in a certain family or having certain karmas and all that stuff, is that does qualify a Brahmin or so that is something which we got to think about. The second thing also it's important out here is that this Vajrasuchika Upanishad, people kind of, there is another debate, oh, this is a Buddhist text, written by Ashwagosha, then it's translated and all that stuff. Again, I don't want to go about it. Again, we have another set of problems whenever certain deviations, or there is some element of philosophy which is against the tide or the fashion of the day. We kind of say that, oh, this didn't come from here, it was translated and all that stuff. But for me, it's an Upanishad. It's a Sanatan Dharma, part of Sanatan Dharma, and I want to straight away go into that Upanishad. So I won't go into each and every line. There are 9 verses, but I will talk the essence of it, and I'll leave you for that question to think about, especially in this world when we are becoming more clannish. When I say clans, we are becoming like building these societies amongst our caste, amongst religion, amongst region, and we kind of say that, okay, this is along the way. We have every right to celebrate diversity, absolutely along the way, but is it okay that, yeah, as long as we do not consider a sense of superiority along the way, right? Because by birth, everyone is equal. So this Upanishad, I want to talk about this. So the question is, Vajrasuchikam pravashyami Shastram Jnanam Vedanam Dushanam Jnanahinanam Bhushanam Jnana Chakshusha. Again, I'm bleeding. This is the Sanskrit verse. So the author says that I now proceed to declare the Vajrasuchi, the weapon that is the destroyer of ignorance, which condemns the ignorant and praises the man of divine vision. Again, man is not gender specific. Again, it's person. So just again one of these things. So it says, so Brahma Kshatriya Vaishya Shudra iti chatvaro varnas tesham varnanam brahmanam eva pradhanam iti veda vachanam rupam smritibhir pyuktam. तत्र च उद्यमस्ति को वा ब्राह्मणो नाम किम जीवः किम देहः किम जातिः किम ज्ञानम किम कर्मः किम धार्मिक इति. So the question is that, okay, there are 4 castes, we are divided: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Even the Smritis declare in accordance with the words. Again, we know some of the Smritis, we had a lot of controversies. I don't want to go into that. That and these days that's a Brahmana alone is the most important of them. So they say the author is kind of asking the question that they probably, some of them say that Brahmana is the most important amongst them. Then the author says, okay, most important by what? Is it based on the jiva? You can, again, non-translatables, we'll keep it jiva itself, whether we call it, is it the body, beyond the body. So is it the jiva, is it the body, is it the class, that is the caste, is it through jnana, is it through karma, or is it through doer of dharma? And dharma here is dharyate iti dharma. Dharma is not religion, but in this context, dharma is somebody who is doing charity. We'll go to that later. So the author is asking, who is Brahmin? Is it by birth? Is it by karma? Is it by gyan? Is it by karma? Is it by dharma? Is it by jati? What? So one by one, it is this aspect is taken. So let's say, so the author says, okay, let us first take the first. So remember, this is how our intellect culture was always. That it is you hypothesis testing. Those of you who are into mathematics, machine learning and all, you do hypothesis, you do statistics, you hypothesis, you prepare a statement, and you say that, okay, you kind of try to counter argue the hypothesis, just to make sure that you demolish all the other arguments and make sure that, okay, if this is not true, then this is true, right? So this may be true. So the hypothesis is that, okay, that Brahmin is superior by superiority by what? Okay, the first one they say is the superiority tatra pratamo jivo brahmano iti chetana. So to begin, is the jiva Brahman. Okay, so jiva is basically, in this context, I am assuming that from the translation also, that jiva, they're saying that Atman, but because it says, the answer is the jiva Brahman? No, since the jiva is the same in many past and future bodies, and since jiva is the same, because I'm not reading the whole Sanskrit words, अतितो नागगेतानां देहानां जीवस्य रूपात् एकस्यापि कर्म कर्म कर्मवाश देयनेदेक संभवात् सर्वशरीराणां जैवस्य रूपत्वाच् तस्मान् जीवो ब्राह्मण इति. So it says that, okay, since the jiva is the same in whether past or future lives, and since jiva is the same in all the many bodies obtained through the force of karma, therefore jiva is not Brahma. Through jiva, a person is not a Brahmin, right? Brahmana. That's what it says. The second thing is tahi deho brahmana iti chetana. So the question is, okay, so does it mean that by deha, by body, somebody is Brahmin? So the answer is that, then is the body Brahman? And I'm again translating it, not going to the whole verse. No, since the body, as it is made up of 5 elements, the Panchabhutas, okay, and is the same from all people down, okay, from up and down the caste, since old age and death, dharma and adharma are found to be common to them all. So there is no absolute distinction that Brahmanas are certain colored. They have said here in this one is white colored, Kshatriyas red, Vaishyas yellow, and Shudras and all that stuff. So by even the body, you cannot use body as a principle for discrimination. That means suddenly, certain people are, Brahmins only have certain colors along the way. The race factor, the color of the skin does not qualify as somebody as a Brahmin, right? That's the third part. Then it says tahi jati brahmana iti chetana, right? So then the most easiest thing people say, oh, our jati is Brahmin, right? So that's what Brahmin says. But here it says, but most of the rishis, right, they were all born out of different castes, and the author gives a series of examples. So many great rishis have sprung from other castes. For example, Rishi Shringya was born out of deer, Kaushika from Kusha grass, Jambuka from jackal, Valmiki from the ant hill. I mean, and people say dacoit and all that stuff. Vyasa, Satyavati, her mother was Satyavati, right? Gautama, who was born from hare, Vashishta of Urvashi, and Agastya of water pot. Thus we have heard. Again, the answer E qualifies. Thus what we have heard, right? Because the rishis, the Udgama of rishi normally is not asked, but so is what we have heard. Of these, many rishis outside the caste even have stood first amongst the teachers of divine wisdom. Therefore, class, which is caste here, jati, is from jati also you cannot be a Brahmin. Okay, I mean, you cannot say that by jati is a way you can discriminate the people of caste, and especially that doesn't make it important. Then tahi jnanam brahmana iti chetana. So through Brahm, so is it by jnana? Then the answer says, if the is jnana the Brahman, the answer is no, because there are many Kshatriyas and others as well who are well versed in the cognition of divine truth. Therefore, jnana is not Brahman. If in fact in Upanishads, the great Janaka was a rishi. Again, Janaka was not one rishi, many rishis. Sorry, many kings. Janaka king, of Mithila, he's expounded as a great seeker of truth. In fact, I don't know whether it's Uddalaka or somebody, he himself is a sage, and he sends his son to be taught by the king. And that's a story in itself. We can go along the way. So you have great people from across lives and spectrum, who are geniuses, who are polymaths, and from ancient times. So how can jnana be a construct that, okay, from jnana you can be a Brahmin? Again, anybody can be the most ignorant person, anybody can be the most intelligent person. Again, it is all through Prakriti. Again, I don't feel everyone has the grace to learn, and everybody has different characteristics. So nobody is, I don't even characterize somebody as, for the sake of the word meaning, I'm using the word ignorance. But the idea here is that it's somebody is just because there is no stamp of knowledge, superiority, just because knowledge is and through knowledge you can be called as a Brahmin. So tahi dharmiko brahmana iti kshatriyadiyo hiranya dataro bhava santi. So is the doer, by it means by giving donations, charity, here virtuous actions, by dharma, by doing dharma. And here again, dharma in this context as a doer of action, does it mean? Because if that was the case, then the Kshatriyas give maximum donations and gold. Because at that time, right? The kings who used to donate along the way. So then they will get the maximum punya. And today, if you see, right, in today's context, quote unquote, the Vaishyas, right, they donate millions to temples. So they do the most charitable work. So does that charitable work with Brahmin? No. So then again, this is according, I'm reading the translation. This is for us, each for now, for us to think and introspect, right? So then the final verse, it's a big verse, tahi ko va brahmano nama. So again, ya kaschid atman dvitiyam jatim gunitriya hinam and all that stuff. So you kind of go through different aspects of then revelation. The final revelation comes in the ninth verse of this. It says, then who indeed is then Brahman? Whoever that person may be, who had directly realized the Atman, who is directly cognizant, and like the myrobalan in his palm. Now again, pardon me for my mistranslation. It's it myrobalan means maybe amla. Hastamlaka was he was a great shishya of Adi Shankara as well, and Hastamlaka, that means that you have the truth, like as if you have realized the truth and you understand the ultimate truth as easy as if it's like a fruit in your hand. That's what it means, right? So whoever has realized the ultimate truth of his Atman without a second, that is devoid of class and actions, that is free from the faults of the six stains, right? The six stains, the greed, anger, and all that stuff, and six changes. That is the nature of the truth, knowledge, bliss, eternity, that is without any change in itself. That is the substratum of all the kalpas, means irrespective of time, that exists penetrating all things, that pervades everything within and without, and within and without as akasha, that is the sky, that is of nature of undivided bliss, that cannot be reasoned about, that is known only by direct cognition. He who by the reason, again he is again, I repeat, is not male specific. He who by the reason of having obtained his wishes is devoid of faults of thirst after worldly objects and passion, who is the possessor of qualifications beginning with the sama, everybody with sama, that is the sama yoga, everybody with equality, who is free from emotion, malice, thirst after worldly objects, desire, delusion, whose mind is untouched by pride, egoism, who possesses all these qualities, and means he only is the Brahmana. Such is the opinion of the Vedas, the Smritis, the Itihasas, and the Puranas. Otherwise, one cannot obtain the status of Brahmana. One should meditate of his Atman as Satchidanand and the non-dual Brahman. Yeah, one should meditate on his Atman as the Satchidanand, the Brahman. Now, whether you're a dualist or a non-dualist, that is, again, I don't care. But the end essence of this whole thing is for us to meditate and all for us to introspect. Can anybody claim that I'm Brahmin by birth and claim superiority? Let's introspect, let's think about ourselves, that we should treat everyone, make sure, look at everyone with the idea of sama. If there is if that is the intellectual superiority we need to bring ourselves, to be humble, to see everyone with equality. And I think that is the essence, at least what I have understood of Vajrasuchika Upanishad. If you're interested into that, and if you think there are different translations, please go and find out, do your own research and look at this Upanishad. There are many translations available over the internet. And with that, I'll end this video. Thank you very much. Namaste.